I think I'll win the Hispanic vote. And the reason I won with the Hispanic vote, and I win all over with the Hispanic vote, because they know I'll take jobs back from China, I'll take jobs back from Japan and every other country that's killing us. I'll bring the jobs back, and you know, the Hispanics are going to get those jobs, and they're going to love Trump, and they already do.
Welcome back to the Steve Malzberg Show. I'm Bill Tucker, filling in for Steve today. That, of course, was Donald Trump addressing reporters in Texas yesterday during his border visit. We're going to talk about immigration now, and I'm joined by Jessica Vaughan. She is the Director of Policy Studies at the Center for Immigration Studies. You can find her at CIS.org. And also joining us, Newsmax favorite and my friend Rick Unger. He is the co-host of the Daily Wrap, weeknights at 6 p.m. It's a little early for us all to be looking at Rick, but he's joining us now.
It is early.
Welcome, Jessica. Let me start with you. Let's start with a little bit of the fun here. Donald says he can win the Hispanic vote. You've looked at this issue for a long time. Can a guy who talks like the Trump win Hispanic vote, do you think?
Well, there's no reason to rule it out, because what we know is that Hispanics have the same concerns as all Americans, and you know, the economy is going to be top of the list, job opportunities, education. They're concerned about immigration as well. It may not be the top issue for them. It's not the top issue for many people, but the Republicans certainly can and should be going after this vote. It's not monolithic. They can do it by making sure they have candidates that that Hispanics can identify with and that address their concerns. Well, so there's no reason. I mean, he's not unreasonable in thinking that he can attract.
Rick is chomping at the bit here. Rick, he's not artful. He's not nuanced. He's a little bit blunt.
I agree with Jessica that the Hispanic vote is not monolithic. Yeah, Republicans could theoretically get the conservative vote, and if Donald Trump had said, I will get an Hispanic vote, I might have agreed with that. There's always somebody out there, but come on. I mean, let's not be ridiculous with our audience. Can a Republican get the Hispanic vote? Yeah, although they haven't done a very good job doing so, and Donald's not helping. Can Donald Trump get a majority of Hispanic votes? That's preposterous. All you have to do is look at the polls and then add to it the difficulty that the party has had in accomplishing this in the past. And I'll tell you what, Jessica, I don't know where you live, but your next house is on me if Donald Trump can win the Hispanic vote.
Okay, we heard that right here and right now. Jessica, get ready to sell if you need to. But I want to move on to something else, because I do have to say I think that Donald is good in bringing up this topic. I think the immigration issue is something that needs to be discussed. And if he didn't bring it up, we certainly got it thrust in our face by recent tragic events, most recently the tragic murder of Kate Steinle in San Francisco. So let's talk about the issue of sanctuary cities. We heard some very emotional testimony on Capitol Hill yesterday, Jessica, about the issue of sanctuary cities. And today, Mother Jones is running an article which says, hey, you know what? Sanctuary cities are actually safer than cities that aren't. Well, I don't know how that's possible, because there's 276 sanctuary cities in the country. But how do you respond to that argument?
I don't know how anybody can say Chicago is safer than a place like Arizona, where they're actively cooperating with ICE. I mean, this is nonsense. They're trying to justify these ridiculously reckless policies that are imposed on law enforcement agencies by elected officials who are trying to curry favor with one segment of the population. Sanctuary cities are more dangerous because they guarantee that illegal alien criminals are going to be released back to the streets and to our neighborhoods instead of being turned over to ICE. It's happened more than 8,000 times just over an 8-month period last year. Almost 1,900 of the people released went on to commit more crimes within that 8-month period. Other studies have found a recidivism rate of like 70-some% for released criminal alien offenders. It just defies common sense that releasing criminals back to the streets instead of kicking them out of the country is going to make anybody safer except for the criminal alien.
Well, Rick, I'm not going to ask you to defend sanctuary cities unless you want to. If you want to, feel free to. But what do we do about the issue, if anything, in your opinion?
Well, it's a difficult question. I mean, clearly Jessica's right when she says there's no city, sanctuary or otherwise, that you could argue is safer or is less safe than Chicago. You know, from everything I've been able to learn, there certainly are sanctuary cities that are the result of politicians currying favor with the Hispanic community for votes. But I am of the belief that there are some sanctuary cities where the police departments legitimately believe that it helps crime in their city. I don't know if they're right or wrong. The only real solution to this is we have to see these local police forces, these local mayors sit down with ICE, and they have to work it out. We don't want to see what happened to this poor girl in San Francisco happen again. This is a horrible thing. And yeah, maybe if it was more effective and they weren't a sanctuary city, this creep would not have been in San Francisco. So I'm sympathetic to it.
Yeah, and we're unfortunately going to run out of time on this. But really quickly, Jessica, is this a matter of law or is this a matter of lack of resources and a will to enforce it? 30 seconds, quickly.
It's a lack of will to enforce it. These sanctuary cities that are in denial that they cannot cooperate with ICE, and that denial is a huge disservice to everyone in their community.
The question is why?
Yeah. Well, Rick,
why are they in denial? How do they benefit?
Because they see a political interest in protecting certain members of the community and ignoring the. It's a political and pure and simple. It's not a law enforcement.
In all instances, it's political.
I'd say 95% of them.
And I am going to have to end it there. Jessica Vaughan, Director of Policy Studies at the Center for Immigration Studies, and Rick Unger, co-host of the Daily Wrap. You can see him every day right here on Newsmax. Up next, the Malzberg panel. Heather Hansen, another News Wrap veteran, and Ireno Nanos will join us.